It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is December the 6th, 2021, and today the topic is the green eyes of envy. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. First, let me say, um, welcome to all of the new watchers and listeners and everything like that. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. God, Sex, and Love. I want to have an additional chat with you all since I know that you all are new to this channel or even the podcast. But in particular, I'm speaking to people that watch me either live or the video version of this. I want to have a little extra chat with y'all. So please stay tuned to the end to what I call the after show. So I can do a little bit of explaining and whatnot. But aside from that, one thing I want to say is my apologies for Saturday's episode. I know Saturday's live episode again had issues, although I was using a different browser. I did hit up StreamYard about it, so hopefully it is rectified today. Prayerfully, we do not have any issues. I definitely did an extra little prayer over that this morning as well. So that's one thing I wanted to address. But aside from that, I mean, my weekend was kind of normal. I mean, like the new normal. It was the new normal. Because like I told you all, my husband is working on weekends now. And so it's it takes a little bit of adjustment, at least for me. But again, I am thankful. I'm happy that he is stepping out on faith, and he's excited about these opportunities and whatnot. And so, although it does have things operating a little differently in our household, and obviously I've been around him on the weekend or around him in the evening or whatever the case is. But I understand the sacrifice now for the big picture, and so I just pray for him and everything like that, and I appreciate him. A hardworking gentleman he's been, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be with a man like that. But anyway, the green eyes of envy. The green eyes of envy, because I can sit here and talk about my little life and stuff all day, y'all know. So the interesting thing is it kind of goes hand in hand in some ways, because y'all know y'all know me, y'all know my story. I've shared it multiple times. I think y'all do. Like I said, I wrote a whole book about it. Look, the cultivation period, a single Christian's journey. I think this is if there was a sin that I struggled with throughout my life, it probably was this. It probably was like coveting and like looking at what someone else has, and maybe I desire it or whatever like that. And I think what I've tried to do as I grow in my faith and as I grow as an individual is to switch that thing around in several ways. So again, I shared the cultivation period because again, that was one of the things I was doing. I was looking at married women and wanting what they had, right? We can get into that. That's a whole other subject. Y'all know that's one of my passions to talk about that. So we ain't got to get into that right now. But what I'm saying is that, there's several examples of this in my life, right? And again, I told you guys that my main career or my main, form or passion or whatever the case is performing. And it's easy to do that as an actor, to look at, again, someone else's career and be like, man, I would love that opportunity or X, Y, and Z, And so, and then what I call it playing the comparison game. it's easy to do that. In the career that I'm in, it's easy to do that. Single versus married, it's easy to do that in any capacity. Like, you know, um, I'm reminded of my son. That's why I started laughing. I'm reminded of him because anytime somebody has something, he'll want it, right? But if it was just sitting there, then he wouldn't want it. It's like that story about the dog with the bone. The dog had the bone, but he looked in the water and saw a dog with a bone, and then he tried to get that bone. Whatever way we can, try to, explain or bring some understanding to this idea of envy and whatnot, then, I mean, all of those I feel like are great examples. I hope that, you get what I'm saying here. That, I can definitely say in my life that I've been there. And I would say that I'm actively trying to get away from that mindset and to do like the Bible say, renew my mind, you know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff. And so that's what the inspiration was today, the green eyes of envy. So let's get into it. I did not define the word envy, so if you need that, then by all means add that to your own code section today. You can define envy, jealousy, all that stuff, and I think you're going to be familiar with the conversation. But one of the first verses I came across this morning was Proverbs 14:30. It says, "A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot." Mm. Well, yeah, man. Now the interesting thing is, I didn't write this verse down, but the first verse I came across this morning was talking about like God being a jealous God and everything like that. And y'all know that the Bible does say we are made in His image. So I was like, well, Lord, we made in Your image, and You a jealous God. So I'm just saying, people out here being jealous. I mean, yeah, that's the reason I didn't write that first down. Because I'm like, we can go deeper about that. That's a whole nother conversation or whatever the case is. But I just thought it was interesting that was the first verse that I came across. But that's pretty deep right there. Again, I guess being tranquil versus being what a tranquil heart does versus what envy does. So, y'all can let that marinate on your heart, souls, and minds today. But, yeah, I found that verse to be interesting this morning. The second verse I wanted to share was Galatians 5:26. It says, "Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another." Well, there you go. I mean, sometimes, again, people are quick. We all can be quick to like kind of puff up ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Maybe be a little conceited, Again, sometimes people do the comparison game in the opposite way, like, well, oh, I have this, and I'm this, okay, and then they do the comparison game. So it's telling us clearly, hey, don't do that, and there you go. I mean, well, because yeah, that's what that leads to. Yeah, I'm just telling y'all what the words say. That's what it says there. James 3:16, it says, "For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorders and every vile practice." I mean, there you go. It doesn't say, well, there might be this. It says there will be disorders and every vile practice. So it doesn't sound like something we should be a part of. Therefore, jealousy and selfish ambition should not be a part of us, right? I mean, again, there's so many things to say, y'all. There's so many things to say. But man, let me just keep going. Let me just keep going. Because I got one more verse I wanted to share. It's 1 Peter 2:1. It says, "So put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy, and envy, and all slander. So, yeah, these are the things we're supposed to put away, y'all. These are the things that we need to let go of. And so, I think I've been trying my best to be intentional about changing my mindset, like I shared with you guys earlier. Um, so, for example, I try my best to, um, okay, for example, I have this group. It's called Unwind Self Care and Sip Spa on Facebook. Um, And right now, it's just a group of women, and I just pretty much I encourage self care. Yes, I promote my endeavors. I have wine business and nail polish business, and I promote those things together um, because I feel like it's a great way to just take time to unwind, to make sure that we as women and even myself that we don't forget to take care of yourself. To I call it take time to unwind, whether I'm like get myself a manicure, which I need to do. Y'all see me. If I get myself a mani pedi, or if I just take some time just coloring my coloring book, or just something to do self care. But the interesting thing is, as I made the group of women, I try my best to be intentional about celebrating them and their wins. Right? Like I shout out my business endeavors, I shout out things I'm doing along the way, but when I see them win in any capacity, I try my best to share those things. If I notice it's somebody's birthday, I try my best to shout them out. If they just post a beautiful photo, like they just like I try my best to share that photo and say, wow, you look great, sis, or check out our sis here, or whatever the case is. And so I think over the past year, since I've been, I guess, cultivating this group of women um, and just doing this, instead of looking at my fellow lady with the green eyes of envy, right? I look at them with admiration. I look at them with, celebration. And I look at them with, and try to share that. And so I feel like that's one way to be intentional, or that's one way that I have been intentional about shifting my mindset when it comes to, jealousy, right? When it comes to envy, when it comes to wanting what someone else has. Instead of that, again, perhaps celebrate them. Perhaps if you see someone you like their outfit, and maybe you want their outfit, maybe you just tell them that you like the outfit. I mean, you never know. I mean, most of the time people be like, "Oh, I got it from such and such," and if you truly want it, you can go and buy it too. And everything like that. But it's just something to think about. That's just one thing that I've done along the way. And I would say over the past year that I think it's helping me in this area. It was crazy because I don't know. It wasn't necessarily when I first made the group. Obviously, I was making for my business endeavors, but at the same time, I just was like, well, okay, I got this group of women, and I'm promoting self care. I'm reminding us all to take time to unwind. But at the same time, like, okay, well, oh, this person just did this. Hey guys, she just won an award. Let's give up for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she just posted this beautiful photo. So I think there's ways to change our minds in regards to this. Speaking of, I know I talked about the cultivation period earlier. I had someone do this to me fairly recently, actually yesterday, and every now and then, like the women in my group, they'll shout me out. I guess they know that I've shouted everybody else out, and again, I share my stuff, but I don't. It's nice to be celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then, someone will shout me out. And so yesterday, I received a notification from a friend of mine. Her name is Marilyn Dabney. I spoke to you about her before. I actually won her giveaway recently. She has a business called Courageous Self Care Specialist, and you guys, that's her Instagram right there. If you guys want to check her out, but she gave me a shout out yesterday. She said she read my book. I didn't know she got my book. So, again, so thank God for that. So she said she read my book. And, she gave her review on it and, shout it out and tell people to go and check it out and everything like that. And that was just a beautiful thing to see that, wow, okay, not only was someone touched by my work not only did they show appreciation and then encourage others, but then, they took time just to really shout it out and to just, I don't know, it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. It was like a surprise and something that was like, wow, thank you for even taking that time to do that. She didn't have to take the time to make a video, talk about books, and everything like that. And so I really have been trying my best to surround myself with like-minded people. You know what I mean? People that think along those same lines of like, hey, I lift you up, you lift me up, we lift each other up, we work together. Like, I'm loving being around these type of people. And it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing, and I'm glad that again, I'm glad that she took out the time to shout out the books and shout me out. But at the same time, I really just appreciate, again, feeling like, okay, wow, this is mutual. I feel like, I've shouted her out, she shouted me out. Like, it's a beautiful thing to just be a part of. And so, so thank you, Marilyn. Thank you so much for taking out that time and doing that yesterday. That was a pleasant surprise to find out that, you not only read my book, but it impacted you in some way. And like I said, to God be the glory. To God be the glory for, everything that he's done. And I'm excited. I'm truly excited. But I'll talk to you more about other stuff when I get done with the juice here. But anyway, I just shared those couple of things so to hopefully encourage you and inspire you to instead of, again, being envious of someone, just find ways to celebrate them. Find ways to let them know. Just let them know. Maybe that's what you need to do. Just, hey, sis, hey, my brother, like, I appreciate, whatever it is, that they have instead of coveting it, right? Instead of envying it. I guess I'll share one more testimony because it just came back to my heart and mind. And I think that's what inspired the name, The Green Eyes of Envy, because I have been saying it over the weekend when I talk to like some friends or whatever. Long story short, y'all know. I think y'all know my struggle. I'm hustling from home. I've been trying my best to, look for another venue and everything like that. And so I've been seeing a lot of people lately with with venues and stuff. And I'm like, man, Lord, like, people can get whole warehouses out here and I can't even just get one place. Like, all I'm trying to find is a place that has at least 2 rooms. Like, I can't even, and it's just been one of these things. But anyway, so long story short, there's this woman that has opened up a here in Georgia, and I commend her. That's great. Like, I think that's amazing. But I think every now and then that's again, really struggling with something, right? Right, you're going to get those temptations, and so that's when we got to like rebuke, those temptations, rebuke Satan and all that, to be like, hey, I'm not going to look at this lady and covet her studio, for example. Like, I have to, focus on what God is doing with me, for me, and through me right now. You know what I'm saying? I did feel myself feeling some way about her having a studio and me not being able to get the place right now. I had to shift it, right? I had to be like, no, you know what? At the end of the day, Miracle, God has blessed you. You know what I'm saying? This year, it's been amazing. Like, not only have I published multiple books, but, y'all know that I got a movie coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is amazing. Like, at the end of the day, instead of looking at this lady's studio and being like, oh, she got a place and I don't have a place. No, I need to look at it like, okay, what can I do at this place? She's provided a place that is affordable for someone like me to be able to go and film. Because that was one of my, not say pet peeves, but one of my issues with studios. Because here in Atlanta, there's a lot of studios and whatnot that are opening. Y'all know about a major one that is here in Atlanta. And my whole thing is like, man, I don't see access into how someone like me can hear and film. So to me, it doesn't matter that they're here. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't, they don't give me, it's like my money isn't as good as big studio money, apparently. You know what I'm saying? That's what it makes me feel like. And so to know that, hey, well, this other lady has a studio. I mean, this lady here has a studio that's affordable, something where I can, and it's, easy access to say, okay, I don't have to go through loops and hoops to figure out how can I rent a space. It's available for people like me. Instead of coveting it, right? Instead of being like, oh, I want my venue now, whenever that happens, that will happen at the end of the day. And if I am to open up a studio, which has been on my heart and mind to do something similar, then hey, in God's time, that's going to happen, right? But right now, while I don't have no studio, she has one. I have access to it, and if there's something that I can go and do there, and film there, I have no issue with going there and filming there and whatnot, instead of again looking at her with the green eyes of envy and feeling like, oh, she got something I want. Like, no, well, hey, and same thing for vice versa for me. If someone's looking at me and like, oh, she X, Y, and Z, hey, man, like, I think once people get to know me, they'll see that, hey, man, I will willingly share information. I don't have no problem with collaborations and all that type of stuff. I'm not someone to just be like, oh, yes, I am this, I am that. You can't talk to me. That's not me. That's not my heart. And so, and I believe that, again, for this woman to have done what she's done, I believe that kind of shows her heart as well, to say, okay, yes, I built this place, but I'm building it for myself and others, and so I think that's what it is about at the end of the day. I could, again, give plenty of examples of how the green eyes of envy try to pop up in my life, but at the same time, y'all, what I had to do, like I said, fairly recently over the weekend, when that tried to come my way, what I had to do was focus on what God was doing for me. Like I said, with me, for me, and through me. And like I said, God has done so many amazing things this year. I don't have nothing to complain about. The fact that I am living my dream, living my book, you know what I mean? Things that I wrote about and prayed about years ago. I'm living that stuff right now. To God be the glory, man. I can't sit here and be complaining and coveting nobody's nothing. At the end of the day, yeah, I want to do better than what I was doing last year. And I want to, and stuff like that. I want to compete against myself, as they say, in that aspect. But aside from that, when I see my sister or if I see my brother winning, I'm going to celebrate them just as I would want to be celebrated, like the word say, do unto others as we would have them do unto us. So I don't know, y'all. I'm just telling y'all what came to me this morning as I was reflecting about this idea of the green eyes of envy. I hope they're hearing my testimonies and also just kind of listening to those verses today have encouraged you and inspired you. By all means, check out the Go Deeper section. Let those verses marinate on your heart, souls, and minds today. But y'all know how I said, man, that here we go, y'all. That is the juice. That is the juice. But the Bible verse of today is 2 Chronicles 7:14. It says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear heaven and will forgive their sin and will their friends. Y'all enjoyed this juice morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love. You want to know some inspirational juice? Pray you guys know forth and have a wonderful day. I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Facebook, YouTube. Thank you all so much for listening and watching on today. Before I get to my little talk, and that last verse or that Bible verse today, I really truly feel like, man, I think that's like a warning for us. Like, I feel like every time I come across that, maybe a warning for America, but just maybe a warning for humanity in general. Like, I feel like that's a warning for us, man. This is what we need to do. Like, I feel like I've been hearing that and seeing that a lot lately. And this is what we need to do, y'all. We need to humble ourselves, we need to pray, we need to seek God's face, turn from our wicked ways, We need to do that, y'all. I don't know if y'all are seeing and hearing that, but we need to do that, in my humble opinion. But anyway, so okay, so here's my chat, y'all. Okay. So hello again to the new people, to the new subscribers, to the new listeners, to new watchers. I know some of you all have come from Speaking Grace TV. Y'all have seen me there in the series that we did recently. I've been there a few times now, but I know some of you all have commented and said that, hey, I came here from there. So thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for listening and watching the content. Please check out all the playlists and all different things. We got so much content, y'all, on here that I hope will encourage and inspire people. Just in case you're new, let me let you know what's going on here. So long story short, when I kicked off Guys, Sex, and Love, it was podcast. Now the original idea was for me to do a talk show, but last year I ended up just kicking it off as a podcast. And so part of the podcast was I was challenging myself to Bible study every day. So that's what this is. The juice is literally me sharing my Bible study experience. Wherever I study in the morning is what I share with the Jews as daily inspiration. Now y'all know since then I've created my journal and everything like that. But that was what happened. That's what the juice is. So if you are new to the channel and this is the first thing you're watching, I want you to understand like why it's what it is. Because I know people may look and they may see like, she's wearing a robe, she got makeup on, she's XYZ. So just to reiterate, just to be clear, it's like right now it's 5:48 in the morning. Okay. I explain all this, but at the same time, I feel just need to let you all know like what's happening. Those of y'all that are new. So again, you're gonna see more videos of the juice than probably anything on GSL because I do it every day. Mondays through Saturday, I try to have the juice out by 6. So that's the deal. That's what's going on. That's why I'm not all duty because it's super early in the morning, and I'm just literally like, hey, I started off just recording audio, and I got the feedback that people wanted to see me, and so I was like, hey, I'm cool with going live, but I'm not gonna get all dutied up because it's 5 in the morning. I'm just gonna, if y'all cool with seeing me, however I woke up, cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you'll probably catch me in a onesie or robe or whatever, and that's what's going on with that. So hopefully that helps. Also, unfortunately, okay, so here's my elephant in the room for times when I'm in this location. So y'all know most of the time I'm recording in what I call the studio. So I'm at home, obviously, and I usually record in my studio. However, my studio is being occupied at the moment. And so I used to record in my she shed. But the she shed had become uncomfortable for me to record things because I think it's because I can't control the elements. So outside can get, it can get noisy, it could rain, there's a lot of stuff that happens, obviously outside, and I can control more when I'm inside. So I've gotten spoiled in that aspect. And so I've set up everything in the house. But when my studio is occupied, I have to find somewhere else to record. So this is like the quietest place in the house right now. So that's why I come out here. And so, again, my apologies for the discombobulation or whatever, but I just wanted to find a quiet place that is kind of not a lot of things going on behind me so that I can, just record the audio, record the juice, and do that. So that's why the juice looks the way it does right now. There are times when I can record in the studio in the mornings, but the mornings where I'm not in there, it's because I'm just trying to find somewhere else to record that's quiet, that's not going to bother, my family. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on with that, y'all. I think y'all understand. I know y'all probably understand, but I just want to explain that to people that are new. So again, thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for listening to the juice. I hope that you are encouraged and inspired by it. You can also listen to the audio version if you would like. The website is godsexandlove.com. And there is a link to the podcast. And it's just basically the audio version of this. You guys can listen to that version on godsexandlove.com. Links to the podcast are there. So that's what I'm doing in the morning. I am recording the podcast. So that's why there's no bells and whistles. There's no commercials. There's none of that other stuff during this because of that. Like I said, I started to incorporate, like, throwing up these things, throwing up like the websites and whatnot. But that's what's going on with that. Again, I've been having issues with StreamYard. Like even right now, there seems to be a bit of a delay. I'm looking at the camera here, and it seems to be maybe like there's a little bit of a delay. So I don't know how this sounds and looks right now. I'm going to go back and look at it, but I hope that it's not giving me the audio issues that the other day. If it is, by all means, please check out the website there and just listen to the audio version of this. If you made it this far, I don't know, but I have been having some issues with StreamYard, and so if this continues, I may have to really think of another way to stream, because it was doing fine for a while, and then now it's doing this, and so I think it takes away from the experience. I'm already not, you know what I'm saying, giving a show quality right now, and then having those issues on top of it is disappointing. Those are the elephants in the room. Those are things that's what's going on behind the scenes. I just wanted to explain that to new people that are here. Again, I appreciate you all for joining this channel. I appreciate you all for taking out the time to comment and to respond to the things that I'm sharing here. Again, I hope that they encourage and inspire you. Feel free to check out the talk show. There's a playlist that's dedicated to the talk show. It's called GSL TV. Every Friday, we usually have some type of video content, whether I'm live or whether I'm, doing pre-recorded chats and whatnot. If you want to be on the show, if you want to be on God, Sex, and Love, go to the website and email me. That is available as well. If you want to support in any way, we have monthly sponsorships. We have monthly supporter. You can support for as low as $99 someone who wants to. All that information should be there as well on godsexandlove.com. But yeah, man, that's what's going on. That's what's going on with everything. I think those are all the announcements. But anyway, y'all, I just want to let you all know that. So again, thank you, new people. Thank you so much for taking out the time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow. To Lord's will.